My new house, and yes, it is still under decorated, a situation that will change drastically in the next 7 days. And that's another thing with these videos. I'm going to be able to start, let me put this on the desk, making videos about the transformation of my property. And the reason that is because it's a much more involved effort to style a whole house than it is an apartment. An apartment, you kind of just, I think you kind of have more of a preconceived notion, generally, at least, what you're going to do. And in Europe, where I've lived, oddly enough, most of my adult life in Rome, and even when I was stationed in Naples, Italy, half the time that stuff came pre-furnished. And so the bare walls that you see here, littered with guy stuff, I mean, there's a bike inside, for crying out loud. I get it, it's a little bit too masculine in its energy. Not that I want feminine energy, but I want more organization. I've got a very detailed plan that I have been planning for the last 3 months that I've lived here to really make this a comfortable place, and also a place where myself and some of my family members can host events, as well as just a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to show you the fit again, and that will mark, talk a little bit more, that'll mark the end of the video where it's free, and then you have to free. It's always free. Show you the fit, and then hopefully tell you that you can watch the rest of all this nonsense on my blog. Turn this light on. A little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Okay, so let's review this again. And it, of course, is a navy style blazer. There we go. A little bit better lighting on the face, with your classic tan. I mean, it's your classic preppy, semi-formal yacht club suit with completely different parts. I've got brown shoes on, with your collared shirt. Usually you would do this with an Oxford shirt. This is a short-sleeved seersucker shirt by, of course, Chaps, which for the longest time was a Ralph Lauren sub-brand. It was their entry-level brand. This color is, of course, navy blue, and usually you're doing this with a double-breasted suit that sort of fits more like this, so it's a little bit tighter in the waist. I've got a suit here, so I've got a single-breasted suit. It's actually pretty well cut, even though it's just a little big on me, but not too big. It's just a little big in the wrist here. I don't like the shoulder pads, but all in all, this ensemble is classic, semi-formal Americana, because even as I am, even though the individual pieces technically are wrong, the color scheme and the way everything drapes fits, and I could walk into any country club, any yacht club, or go shopping at any mall and fit right in. No one would be worse for wear or say anything, and therein lies my key point. You reach a certain point, certain level of your life, certain level of success as a guy, where you just have to level up your dress. And that's directly connected to age, life experience, income, and the circles that you're traveling in, and just how you view yourself. You don't have to memorize that. It's not that kind of video where there's not going to be a quiz later, which is why this video will definitely flop with my TikTok crowd fans, for the most part. And then your strict suit aficionados, those guys who are like, why don't men wear suits more? And then they can sit there and tear apart any suit, which there's certain entertainment value in watching them tear apart a suit that someone's wearing, even if it's you're the person wearing it, because as they do that, you realize just kind of out of touch they may or may not be with modern casual style. When we're living in an era, this is probably we're probably 20 years or more into athleisure being the dominant type of menswear. And that style of look and that thinking probably goes back to, the late 2000s, the housing crisis, the cell phone, all those things coming into play. People just don't want to dress like this anymore, for the most part. This casual look, almost like the full formal suit itself, is now relegated to specific situations and specific instances. And now this is where I'm going to hit the little button, because if you're watching this on your magic box, which is what I call, I love doing that, what I call cell phones, it's such a mixed bag, because there's a lot of aspects of our modern mass communication system that are very beneficial, especially with your access to information. And there's a whole bunch of aspects to our modern mass communication system that are just meant to sell us stuff, brainwash us, keep us in line, keep us infighting, and yes, sort of keep us trapped in our different little mindsets. And it hasn't helped any sort of traditional values or understanding. So you've got to learn to define yourself outside of all that. But anyway, I'm going to click the box. If you want to hear more about, because I'm going to be changing, like I said, this will be a series of videos. I'm going to be changing different outfits, as well as, again, perusing my man cave. Yeah, that's the light. A little bit. Yeah, there's a whole series of videos talking about style.